Hello, Giuseppe here. Have you ever gone through old black and white photos and wondered about, you wished it was in color instead, or that you'd had color film back then, or, well, we'll experiment with an old picture of me, and I stress old, as back in the days when they were liberal with handing out hair. Anyway, have you ever used the colorized feature in Photoshop Elements? This is what we'll be demonstrating. I won't spend a lot of time on the fine intricacies of selection for the benefit of the viewer, to keep you from having to view a very long process. This can be a really short process. I think we'll just get right into it here. First off, black and white photo here, and the hair is pretty solid black. I think I'd like to try using the quick select and selecting. I use the bracket keys to reduce the size or increase the size of the cursor. Bracket keys are those keys that are on the right side of the letter P. Alright, go out here and push this back up, holding the Alt key down and going from the outside of the marching ants, pushing them back up where they belong. Okay, I'm going to call that pretty close. Like I said, I won't spend a lot of time like I would on a product that I wanted really specifically finished. But we'll do the Control L, which brings up our levels control. And all I want to do is put a little tiny bit of lightness to the hair, where I go too far, of course, but maybe add about that much where it kind of hits a little bit of a highlight on some of the hair. Okay, we'll call that good. And Control D on the keyboard deselects, so we'll deselect. Well, like I said, I knew this person pretty well. Every time I looked in the mirror, I'd see him, so I'm selecting the shirt. Just a rough selection here, and get this little tiny bit up here by his beard. We'll call that, oops, just about eliminated the selection of this t-shirt there. Alright, now we have the shirt selected. Alright, we have two ways of accessing the colorization. We can go into Enhance, Color, Auto Adjust Color, and then Adjust Hue and Saturation. Or if you're lazy like me, I like the Control U option on the keyboard. So we'll do that. Control U brings it up anyway. So now the area that's selected is all that'll be affected. And first thing we'll do is select Colorize. That's down here. I don't know how many people have ever seen that. Now you notice the shirt took on a color. It just depends on where the slider is located. You can go through quite a range of colors. Let's go with a blue shirt, maybe like that. I think that shirt should be darker blue, so we'll increase the saturation, make it a little brighter blue. Okay, and now we can hit the OK to accept that. Alright, we've got the shirt colored, so we can Control D, deselect, and all that remains now is the flesh. We'll go back to our quick select, increase the size of the cursor by the right bracket key, and select the face. And of course the ear goes along with the face. So rough selection there. We're going to call that good for the sake of time. I think I'll just knock this down a little bit by going on the outside of the marching ants and click on the edge of that circle, and that kind of knocks that down just about halfway there. Okay, so again we press the Control U on the keyboard and select Colorize once more, and wow, we're pretty close. It's kind of hard to get a flesh tone. That's pretty close, I think, and maybe a little more saturation right there. So it kind of makes a quick job of converting a black and white photo to color. Let's hit OK, call that good, do a Control D on the keyboard to deselect, and now if you want to really get a little a little more in-depth here, let's go up to guided. Have you ever used the guided feature up here at top? Guided is a quick way to do a lot of different functions. One such function is this vignette effect. Click on that vignette effect. It brings up where you can put a white vignette around it or a black. The white, depending on where you have it, affects the color, the corner, I'm sorry, to that extreme. Personally, for this one, I like the black one. Alright, and we can increase it or decrease the black just depending on where you put the slider there. I don't know, we'll call that pretty good right there. So we've converted that black and white photo into what you might call a color, acceptable color photo. When you get this finished, you can go to Next down here at the bottom, and we were working in the expert mode, so we'll go back to expert mode, and there we sit. We see several layers that were created as we went along with this process, and if we are finished, we can go up here to layer on the top and flatten the image, and I see a little white speck that has been getting my attention. I'm going to go over here on the left and choose the Band-Aid tool, and it's a little too big a circle, on a little tiny circle, and click on that. The Band-Aid tool eliminates spots, blemishes, that type thing. I think for this demo we'll call this good. So far I think we understand a little more about the colorization process in Photoshop Elements. Pretty handy. Well, we've gone from a black and white photo on the left to a fairly acceptable photograph in color. So if you didn't have color film back then, or just want to make a black and white photo into a seemingly pretty good color photo, go ahead and try the colorization process. Photoshop Elements is pretty handy software. Okay, till next time, this is Giuseppe. So long.